This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, Bobby Ochterbeck, this recording is for you at your request. Hope you are enjoying your vacation. I'm thrilled to death to have Kevin and Belinda on the call today. And because there's only two people here live, I do have to tell you a story.
Yeah, perfect.
There was a young preacher at a church, and he was new there. It was kind of a cold, wintry, snowy day, and only one person showed up, an old farmer. And the preacher says, "Well, I don't know. Should I preach a sermon with just one person here?" And the old farmer said, "Well, sir, when I go to feed the cows, if only one cow shows up, I still feed him." So the preacher says, "All right then." So he just gave it everything he had the amens and the hallelujah chorus going. And finally, he just drained and drenched from all the effort. He ends his message and he says to the old farmer, "Well, sir, what'd you think?" And the farmer says, "Well, when I go to feed the cows and only one shows up, I don't dump the whole load of hay."
Amen. Saw that one
Amen.
coming.
You,
Amen.
you saw that one a mile away, huh?
Well, remember, I have my Friday morning men's ministry, so I've been telling jokes to men since 5:30 this morning. So yeah,
Okay.
but
All
I'll
right.
use that one next time.
Yeah, there's a good one for you. Okay, so I promised you a story about how I got this listing last night using a technique that is golden. I'm telling you, if you have not done this, this turns people that would never do business with you into instant clients. So let me explain what happened. There was a couple who wandered into the clubhouse at my neighborhood and said, "Hey, we're thinking about moving here. Can you recommend a realtor?" So the receptionist, who has my writing pads at the front desk, just peels off a page and says, "Here, call Frank." So we could probably talk about that right there for quite a while, about how to make that kind of stuff happen. But the point is, they called me. I met with them. I showed them some houses. They were very interested in my neighborhood. They said, however, first we have to sell our home that's out in the falls at Imperial Oaks. And I said, well, I don't just sell homes here in Windsor Lakes. I'd be happy to help you get your home there sold so you can purchase one here. And they said, oh, we appreciate that. However, we've already met with an agent. She's told us what our home is worth. She's very sharp. And I think she sells more homes in our neighborhood than anyone else. And I said, well, that sounds terrific. And now here's the golden phrase. And I said, but I may not have mentioned to you that when I help my clients purchase a home and they also have one to sell, I'll sell their home for 1%, not the standard 3%. And if your home is worth 400,000, as it turns out it's worth about 450, I said, that can save you over $8,000 in selling costs. And right there on the spot, they said, well, we think we're going to work with you. So they called me again earlier this week. They said they had spoken to the other agent and politely informed her they would not be working with her. And they called me out to their home to list it. So I went out last night. We did the listing paperwork. It's going to hit the market in about 2 weeks. And I said, well, do we need to schedule your showings back in my neighborhood? And they said, oh, we've had a change of mind about that. We're not going to buy a home. We're just going to move into the forum. So there's not going to be two transactions, just one. But remember, my offer was only good if they also purchased. So I'm getting 3% on the listing, which comes to $15,000, as opposed to if I'd just gotten the 1% on the listing and 3 on the purchase, it would have come to
12.
$15,000. It is exactly the same, and I'm going to do half as much work. So, a couple caveats here. I do not, out of the gate, offer discounts. I only go to that if I'm not going to get the transaction. It's lost,
Right.
it's gone, there's nothing there, like they told me. We already have an agent. She's great. We love her. She's been to our
Right.
home. So if there's no chance of getting it, then I go to, oh, by the way, and this could save you, I do a mental calculation, in this case, $8,000. And it works like magic, because I'm telling you, no matter how much they like another person, or even if it's a relative, or they used this person before, if they realize there's an $8,000 difference for working with me, and they've already liked me, right? Because I've already shown them homes, we've already established rapport. I am going to get that listing. And that is literally how easy it was. I've used it over and over. I only use it when I have to, but when I have to, it wins the day every time. All right, I'm going to pause there. Kevin?
Amen.
Amen.
I had a
So,
guy teach me that trick, and
okay.
so I've got one going right now, and it went just the exact same way. They called me up and said, my buddy said, "Hey, my daughter's got to buy a house. She's going to use you as a realtor. Daughter, this is Kevin. Kevin, this is daughter. Daughter, he's the best realtor in the world. I'll drop off the call now." And he was out, and so I'm showing her homes, and the same thing. Oh, yeah, we're going to list our home with Susie, our realtor. And I said, okay. I said, same thing you said. I said, by the way, if I were to do both, you'd save a bunch of money. And she's like, I'm listening. And
That's right.
so now I've got her home for sale, and we're still searching for the new home. They're a little pricier and harder to find down in Houston, but it speaks directly to them, and it's just amazing how quickly they go from, oh yeah, we got a good friend realtor, to whose name I can't recall, by the way.
That's right.
And no, I haven't signed anything. And it's really just a thread, and it does, money outweighs threads. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Money is thicker than blood, or something
So
like that.
thank you for teaching us that technique, that approach. It's
Yes.
yeah.
So I have been doing a little review of my business this year. This is the second thing I want to share with you.
Yeah.
And I have noticed that a third of my transactions have come from existing transactions. So, for example, I have a listing, I get a buyer call, I sell the buyer another home. Okay. So, listings generating spin-off transactions. It's not a one-to-one ratio. I haven't had 10 transactions that turned into 20, but I'm having 10 turn into 13, or 20 turn
Yeah.
into 26, about a third of my transactions. And I'll tell you, the latest one was, I'm also going to be listing a home that's going to hit the market a week from today. It's going to sell instantly. I'm going to have multiple offers on it. It's going to be incredible. But while I'm working with these sellers, one of them says to me, "Oh, I'm a dentist. I live in Atlanta," because it's an airship situation. "I'm going to be moving to Houston, and I'm hoping that you'd be willing to help me find a home." So there we go. That hasn't turned into a deal yet, but it's the likelihood it's going to. So I raised that second issue for this reason. Whenever you feel like, but I don't want to take a discount, I'm worth a full commission, just remember, if you sacrifice that commission because you're not willing to take less, you're also sacrificing the spin-off business that comes from it, which is often at a full price commission. I'm all about full price as often as you can get it. But you know what? I'd rather have $100 bill than a 20. But if somebody drops a 20 on the ground and I pick it up, I'm going to put it in my pocket. So don't leave any money on the table. There we go. Susan Roselle, so happy that you have joined us. You have increased our participation rate by 25%. just by being
Hi,
here. I
Frank.
really appreciate it. Hi, Susan. So,
I just told Liberty and Cheryl, so Liberty will be on too.
okay, all right, very good. What I would like to do this morning, now that I've kind of shared with you a couple things that are generating business for me, I would like to hear from each of you your best business building tip. And what I mean by that is not necessarily long term, how to build a reputation, a brand, repeat and referral business. What I mean is if you can't make your September mortgage payment, or let's say October, give you time to close, you desperately need a sale. You need some right now business. What if you were the coach and the rest of us are your paid clients? What would you tell us in order to go get business right now? All right, who wants to go first? Okay, I'll let you think about it. Okay, go ahead, Kevin. I see the thought came. The light bulb went on. What is it?
This is speaking optimistic and prospectively because I don't do the best at doing this right now and let's get right now business. But if I really were under the gun, what I would do is I would think of a short, snappy text, and I would pull out my phone and I would start texting pretty much everybody. And I might start with the A's because I'm not smart like that, like you would prioritize and do your 80-20 on the list. But I would scan through my phone and I would see who do I know, and I would start popping off these little texts saying, "Hey, Frank's thinking of you the other day. Hope all's well. How's it going?" Something like
Yes.
that, and
Yes.
just start a conversation, and along the way, just kind of stir up the coals. It's I don't see myself saying to people, "I got to make my October mortgage payment. Who do you know that needs to do a real estate deal?" Because I
Right.
don't know that doesn't appeal to me. So I project myself out, so I don't do it. But the idea of renewing the flow and stoking the coals is something that I do. That's kind of my. But I'd love to hear from y'all as well.
Yeah, so you're just re-engaging with people in the course of life, being a friend, and of course, you're always branded, you're always marketing, so they know what you do, Kevin.
Right.
This whole process of just re-engaging, like, oh, I was thinking about calling you anyway. Um, so that's awesome. All right, Susan or Belinda, either y'all want to play? What's your best recommendation for right now business?
I actually need a recommendation.
Well, Kevin gave you a good one. Go through your phone and start texting everybody you know one at a time with something of interest. Even if it's just, hey, it's been a while since we talked. Hope you have a great weekend. Stay dry. There's something of that nature.
No, I need to sell 2 of my listings.
Okay. So if anybody wants to play on that one, how can you sell a listing quickly? Um,
I'll
you,
share.
12.44 acres.
Yeah.
yeah. So having said
What?
that, go
Why?
ahead, Kevin.
I got a question. Why do I want to buy that listing? Tell me why. I've looked at 3 properties. Yours is one. Tell me why I should buy your listing with the 12.34 acres.
Because you can put your vision together and you can do anything you want to with that property. You can build, it's unrestricted,
Where's
never
the video?
flooded.
Where's the video of you standing on that property saying that?
Well, I'm
Send me that
actually in
video.
search of a videographer. Me and
Here's
Liberty are
what
in
I'm.
search of a videographer.
Yeah, here's what I'm getting at. I was at an event yesterday. It was the opening of a new development called Woodhaven. It's just west of the Woodlands. Um, call it North Tomball, South Magnolia, call it whatever you want. It's just west of 2978. And there were like hundreds of realtors there. It was broker open. And the realtor was standing next to me says, "You don't remember me, but," I'm like, "Uh-oh, where's this going?" But, and she says, "A couple years ago, you came into my open house. I said, yeah, and then she said, you asked me a question, and I still remember it. And you asked me, why should I buy this home? And I wasn't really prepared to answer your question in a definitive way. And I wasn't being, a butt about it. I was serious. I said, tell me now, why should I buy this home? Tell me and she said that really struck with me, and it kind of helped her rethink and renoodle a lot of what she's doing. And she's done different things with her business and whatnot since, but just showing up and whatnot has that effect. And that's the power of this very conversation we're having here right now. Frank helping us share the best knowledge with each other and bring out the best in each other. But sometimes it really hits a spot and gets us to cogitate. But whenever we're doing an open house, whenever we have a listing, and if you need ChatGPT to help you, bless your heart. But there should be some reason why that home really is unique. And that's because everybody can't have a chef's kitchen, blah, 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 all the buzzwords, here's the real deal. This house is a great price and it's across the street from the school. End of story. And you got to know, and I like what you said about you can do whatever you want in this property, but you've got to be able to help cast that vision for people that don't have it. And then they'll say, oh, I didn't think about that. I forgot that it was unrestricted or whatever it is. But that's a thought within there. But promoting, and you guys probably know, I make a video or two. Last I heard, there's a couple people with iPhones and they watch a lot of videos. And hey, bro, and you gotta make it. You gotta make them to be there.
Yes. So I'm going to make a comment about that. We all know the two things that sell homes, price and marketing. What Kevin was giving was marketing advice. And I have not seen Kevin traveling around with a professional videographer. In fact, I think he carries all of his recording equipment in his pocket generally.
Got it right here.
So Susan, please do not let the quest for a professional videographer, there you go, keep you from doing the marketing. That's 50% of the reason to purchase that property: price and marketing. So just go ahead and get it started. If you find a great videographer, then replace that video with a professional one. But until then, just keep shooting.
Well,
Go ahead,
My
Susan.
advice is get another
kinda-
realtor. Partner with another realtor and go out together. You film me, I film
need
you.
a drone.
My last shoot was with Melvin, and it was great.
Yeah.
So I need a drone.
Yeah.
A drone. I'm sorry, I'm sick. So I need a drone. I need a drone because it's only a mobile home that sits on that property, and it's completely, you can do whatever you want to with it.
So
Me and Liberty are both doing this. However, we do have it listed under residential.
yes.
And I'm wondering if we should change it to rural, farm and land or
farm
whatever.
ranch. So how far out of town is it?
So it's in New Caney.
Okay. Is there residential development all around it?
Yes, with lots of acres. So there are homes that are for sale around
It's
the
in New
area.
Waverly.
Oh, sorry. I cannot stop saying New Caney.
So-
Go ahead, Liberty. You speak.
So regarding the drone, and I realize you might need a drone shot to really capture the 12 acres. Have you looked into what that would cost?
No.
Okay, let's just pull a number and say it's $200. And you're a little short on $200 right now. What is the listing price on the home, on the property? The 12 acres.
$525.
$525. Okay. So one option is
Hello?
to ask your seller to upfront those funds. You can say, look, I really want to shoot a drone video. If you can help me with the cost of the marketing of shooting the drone video, because we don't do that every day. It's kind of an unusual expense. I'm doing all the normal expenses. If you can help with this extraordinary expense, then at closing, I can reimburse you for that. Depending on your relationship with the seller and that seller's personality, that may be an opportunity for you. You could also make the same deal with the drone operator. Say, hey,
Yeah.
I'm looking for somebody to partner with long term. If you can just, do me a solid on this one, I'm going to pay you, but let me pay you at closing. Then hopefully it'll be the first of many. There are people who will work with you if you'll ask them.
You can also get it for free. Go to
Talk-
Google Earth. Go to Google Earth and zoom on in, and you may get a good enough picture of that property that you can use. You got to use Snippet and a couple tools. It's been done.
Yep. There are lots of ways to do things on the cheap. But I want to come back to what you said, Susan, that you need to sell something fast because you've got these two listings. One of the things that we do not control as real estate agents is when a property sells. We can assure that it will sell based upon pricing and marketing, but we don't control when the buyer is going to show up. So I would caution you, don't assume that that is your responsibility. I know it's your desire to sell it quick. You have a need to sell it quick, but that really is outside your control unless the seller is willing to drastically reduce the price of the property well below market. That will trigger a quick sale. But if it's priced at market and you're doing a great job on marketing, that's when the need for patience comes in, because we can be doing everything right and the seller can be doing everything right, and it may still take times. 12
Y'all
acres
know
of
who you're talking to, right? Patience. I don't have patience.
yeah, yeah. And you can't buy it either.
No, I
I'm
know.
sorry about that. Yeah, that's a
But
little rough.
I
So,
do have a couple of buyers coming up in the fall, so that's good.
okay.
So
So Susan, if buyers are sometimes quicker money than sellers. If you needed to turn up a buyer today, what's your best idea for doing that? Well,
I
we
don't
we
know right now, Frank. I'm still sick, so I've got medicine
okay.
in me.
Okay. All right.
Ask
Kevin had
somebody
to
else.
go. Yeah,
Sorry.
that's okay. So Liberty or Belinda, do either one of you want to jump in on this conversation? Do you have a right now business generating idea? When I say right now, that'll turn up a prospect within a week or two, if not today. Liberty?
So I just stepped in late on the call and I heard you saying calling all the people in your phone,
Yes.
just
Or
talking to
texting.
them about it. Right, just
Texting.
making contact with them.
Yeah. Yes.
Um, I, I it's more long term for me, but I've been doing made a bunch of goodie bags for my neighbor. I am geofarming, and
Mhm.
I had a lot of people respond to that and contact me that maybe
Great.
wouldn't have otherwise. I also am doing a school supplies drive here at one of the model homes. So I have people contacting me regarding dropping off school supplies. I'm just out still meeting people and growing my sphere, but I
Yes.
have to also continue contacting them. I need
Yes.
to make sure people aren't, I have not been great at marketing myself as a realtor. I feel like there's a million of us out there because, hello, there are.
Yes.
Um, and so as far as next week or two, I don't know, but open houses are still um slow for me, it seems like, but I mean
They
from what
are.
I'm hearing and all the things, but you're still out there meeting with other agents or having relationships with other listing agents that have listings. They'll get I get people send me their leads, and so that's always nice to have. I had somebody sent me a lease lead, which I haven't done in a long time, but that fell through. And then he calls me. He said he got an apartment. Then he called me back and was like, hey, is that house still available? So I'm working on that.
Great.
Getting a buyer next week, I don't have the answer, but the relationships that I'm creating and I have created over the last the last decade, those have always been good to me.
Yes. Yes. So again, you're farming, you're building for the long term, and that
Yeah.
is the best way to build a real estate career. But I just know that some of us are under financial pressure, and if that's the case, I want to share right now ideas. Let me share another that has been inspired by our upcoming summer social on Monday night. And Susan and Liberty, and I think Belinda, I think all of you are registered for that. Is that true? Liberty, are you coming too?
I am, yes.
Okay, all right, awesome. So here's my thought. That event is probably going to cost about $1,000. So, and that's just for I'm figuring we're going to have 30 people show up, and I'm going to provide appetizers and soft drinks for everybody, desserts throughout the evening. That comes out to about $30 a piece, and you got to figure in a 20% gratuity, so $1,000, and I'm in. So I don't have an extra $1,000 laying around, or at least I'd rather spend other people's money rather than my own. So I found 4 sponsors to each contribute $250 a piece. And now I get to have a party with my favorite people, and it doesn't cost me anything. You could do exactly the same thing with 25, 30, 35 of your friends, family members, neighbors, past clients and customers, prospects. And so here's my idea. I'm going to do that. I'm going to follow up this summer social. 30 days later, I'm going to schedule the same event at the same place, presuming it goes well, at Mia's table. And I'm going to invite everybody that I have closed a home with in the last 2 years. And if I had an opportunity to meet the client on the other side of the transaction, sometimes I do, then I'm going to invite them as well. So that's probably going to be, considering spouses and all of that, probably 60, 70, 75 people. How many will show up? Maybe 25 or 30. What's it going to cost me? Maybe $1,000. So all I need to do is find 4 sponsors willing to contribute $250 a piece. So who would those be? You have to think about who's going to see value in getting in front of 30 homeowners. And so the answer to me, what I'm going to do is reach out to my insurance agent. I'm going to reach out to a plumber, because everybody needs a plumber occasionally. I'm going to reach out to a handyman, and then possibly a landscaper. And my pitch to them is going to be, all you need to do is pick up one job at this event, and you have covered your cost of sponsorship. And that's true. A landscaping trip. The last time I brought a landscaper out just to clear some brush out behind my house, it cost me like $1,200. So call a plumber and have them come out and work on something. You're at $250. I don't care what they tell you, $69.95. You're going to spend $250. So think about that. Who are the 50, 60, 70 people that you could invite to an event like this, that it's just for my friends and family and my best real estate clients and prospects? Pitch it that way. Obviously you're going to be there Monday night, and you'll experience it, and then just see how easy it would be to replicate that event. How many of
Frank,
y'all?
can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead, Tom. We got you.
Oh, thank you. I'm so sorry for interrupting. We've had this issue, as you know, the last couple of weeks, and we haven't been able to get the mic going. And I think we found out how it's working. So I didn't mean to interrupt. I wanted to make sure.
No, you're good. We're talking about ways to generate right now business. And I was just sharing, Tom, a strategy for hosting an event like we're doing Monday night, where you are one of my 4 sponsors. And I'm telling them that they could replicate that event with their clients and find sponsors to cover the cost, and what I would do if I was hosting this as I'm going to do 30 days from now, I'm going to have paperwork there where they can write down referrals for me. And then I'll have them put them in a basket, and I'll have a great door prize, some kind of big decorative basket or something that people want. And then I'll say, for every referral that you write and drop in the basket, that increases the chances that you're going to win the basket. So who do you know is thinking about buying or selling sometime within the next 12 months? Okay. So I'm doing it to generate repeat and referral business with people who already have worked with me. Susan, did you want to jump in on that?
I just wanted to say real quick that I did reach out. I do want to say that because I'm posting so much on Facebook that I had a client reach out from my past that's interested in selling his house. And I also got in touch with a cleaning lady who knew me from my previous employer. And now
Yes.
she is wanting to buy, and we have an appointment today.
That would be awesome. And you know
And
what?
she
Go
had
ahead.
asked, well, I was just going to say, like, she doesn't know the first hand of the process, her and her husband. And I told her that's what I'm here for, is to help you every step of the way, whether
Yes.
it's with a lender, whether it's whatever it may be. So I have that going on today too.
So, Susan, that's awesome. You're sick and you're still being productive. That's awesome. And Susan, have this mindset whenever you meet with somebody like this lady's a house cleaner or runs a maid service or whatever. Do you know who utilizes her services?
Yep. Agents.
Homeowner. Well, agents, yes, but agents don't typically send you business. Homeowners. My wife has a cleaning lady. So this cleaning lady not only can be a client for you, but she can be a sponsor of your client event.
Yes.
Think about
Correct.
think about that. I
Yeah.
mean, everybody wants somebody else to clean their house, and if you can put her up in front of people and say, I know, April, the house cleaner. I've referred her to my clients. I've used her on my own home. She's fantastic. Her rates are reasonable. She's going to get business out of that. So just keep look at everybody through the lens of, can I help them and can they help me grow my business? Okay. Wow. Hey, Tom, we are coming towards the finish line here. Is there anything that you know that we could do to help generate some more business?
Well, so interestingly enough, what you have just had your topic of conversation of, I learned years ago that that's called leveraging people, right? Leveraging folks. And um, I think there's very few ways to prospect that are more effective than that.
Yes.
I'm just going to say, Frank, around January, I started running 100 miles an hour, 7 days a week with open houses every Saturday and every Sunday. Haven't missed but maybe one Saturday or Sunday. We had that story
Yes.
last week about how effective open houses can be because it's a numbers game. You may run 14 weekends in a row and not have one borrower that comes to fruition, and then you have two in one weekend, and boom, you look back and the numbers are, now I have 2 closings in the last 7
Yes.
months from open houses. That's the only thing I want to add to what you just said about leveraging folks is my mindset that I had to create around January was run smart, run
Yes.
hard, don't stop running. And I remember this from selling real estate from 87 to 97. That same practice, at some point you look up and you say, whoa, I've got closings. And I don't have one, I have 5, or I have 7, or I have 12, or I have 3. And it's because you initiated the work. So to me, work is hard to beat in terms of how do you gain business. It's from
Yeah.
working hard.
Yeah. You get out there. As I often say, we're in the real estate business, and what that means is we're in the business of talking to people about real estate. And if we can just have that conversation with more people, we're going to uncover more needs and have more business. Okay, so we're coming up on the finish line here. We didn't have as many people on the call. I'm a little disappointed. I love we got the best people on the call, but I was hoping we'd have a whole bunch of people. So Susan,
Hey,
as we
Frank.
approach the finish line, what would you like to tell everybody?
Well, I just want to say that Cheryl was trying to get on, but she couldn't. But she does have a listing, and
Yes.
that if anybody needs open houses, um, she's needing someone to do open houses.
Okay. Very
I do
good.
want to say also that Maria and Susie are no longer with us.
Oh, okay. Well, Susie was never on our team, even though she was with EXP. Where did she? Well, don't tell me that, but she's left. She's left the company.
I think she's left, period. So,
Oh, well, the last few conversations I had with her, she was like, "This is not working for me."
right.
In fact, the last conversation I had with her was at one of my listings when she and her husband were hosting it open,
Right.
and nobody showed up, and she was just very discouraged. So that's
But that's it. Just that Cheryl has a listing that if anybody's willing to do open houses. So,
Yes. Okay. That sounds good. Yep. I am not hosting open houses this weekend because I'm covered up with business, and I've got literally a 2-page to-do list today to move my transactions forward. So even though and Susie is correct, it is a very difficult time for many real estate agents right now, and overall transaction levels are down. There's no doubt about it. But at the same time, I appreciate y'all being on this call because what we share are the actual strategies that will build your business so that you create your own economy and not be subject to what everybody else is experiencing. And I'm just using myself as a test case for that because the things that I teach you are the things that I'm doing. And I'm telling you, they're working. So I hope you heard me say 30 days from now, I'm going to be doing a client event. I'm going to invite 75 people. I'm going to have 30 show up. I'm going to have sponsors pay for it. And I'm expecting business to come out of that. So you're going to hear me talking about that 45 days from now about the business that I've generated from that idea. I hope that you are competing with me for time on that call to tell your success stories from implementing that same strategy. Okay. So hear and do. That's the secret to success. Liberty, did you want the final word? I see you turned your mic on.
I just wanted to see, I still have that question I texted you about responding to the future of the neighborhood. Somebody put on spotlighted on me on Facebook, but I don't think it's necessarily for this, but time that I could get back with you on that.
So to share that question again for everybody.
Okay, it's a new development, and I have a Facebook group that I created for the neighborhood, and my letting people know that I am a realtor is working. So there is a industrial park being built to the right of the front of the entrance of the neighborhood, and people are nervous about it. And one of them asked me, "Hey, Liberty, on a real estate standpoint, what do you think this is going to do to our property value?"
Home values. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
I didn't respond because I don't want to put my foot in I don't want to say something
Yeah.
like I have my own personal opinions on how I
Yeah.
feel about it, but I don't want to put out a real estate perspective on it because I'm not interested in telling the future.
Yeah.
And I
Okay.
don't know what else is going to be happening around me, so I don't know how to
So that is
respond.
that's a real opportunity to step into controversy and to make a lot of people mad at you
And
because
I back away from, I'm a lover, not a fighter, Frank.
yeah,
I do
yeah.
not like controversy.
So no, but you have to respond. So we're
I
going to
do.
take a page from our politician friends. You know, it's very frustrating when they're asked a direct question and they go and they start talking about something else. But they do that very purposefully because quite often, if they answer the direct question directly, they're going to be in the soup just like you would be if you answered that directly. If you said our property values are going to be hurt by this, then suddenly you're going to be an enemy of the neighborhood. You
Mhm,
no longer believe in the neighborhood. You're at odds
mhm.
with the developers and the builders and the community. You don't want to do that. And if you say, oh, it's not going to hurt us, it's going to be great because we've already got playgrounds and pools and a great quality of life, and people are going to accuse you of sticking your head in the sand and refusing to see reality. So you cannot answer that question directly, but you do need to answer it. And so what
Mhm.
I would do is go gather information about the development. I don't know if it's within the community and it's a set aside a parcel for commercial development. If so, then you can go to the local builder developer, find out who's going in, what kind of businesses are going to be allowed, what kind of separation is going to be required from that development and from the residential development, if any. Just get all the information that you can about it and share it. And then you can answer the question by simply saying, I think it remains to be seen what the long-term impact is going to be. However, I have been able to gather this additional information and then just share the information without comment. That way you've shown that you're a professional, but you haven't jumped into the middle of a food fight.
That is very helpful. Yes, thank you. And we did have an HOA meeting yesterday, and they did talk about what they were doing to border that, trees and all the
Yes.
things. So that's helpful.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. There you go. All
Yeah.
right.
Thank you so much.
Okay, guys. Well, I heard the dog barking. The end of the sands of time have run through the hourglass. So appreciate you guys being here. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody at the party on Monday night. Bring your games, cards, dominoes, whatever you want to do. We're just going to sit around and play games and eat free banana pudding all night. Thank you, Tom Schmidt, for being our banana pudding sponsor. All right. God bless you guys. Love you. We'll see you Monday.